What's going on, people? Welcome to Premzy TV, and it's the big one. You get me? This match preview, it had to take place. You get me with my old pal
Come
Saeed.
on.
You know what I'm saying, bro? These kind of fixtures, obviously, if you're from our era, you know this is the big
Mm,
fixture. You get me? Through primary school, we've been arguing.
yep.
Arsenal United is only right that we give it to you guys. You get me? So make sure you smash a
Come on.
like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Big up my brother. Congratulations, 70k hit on Saeed TV. Big up your goddamn self, dog. 100k coming soon,
Love.
my G. Get
Come
me?
on, man. I
Silver
appreciate the
plaque
love, man.
soon behind you. Silver plaque.
Come on. Silver. Silver. That's what we love, man. Now, I appreciate my bro, man. It's hard work, but you know what? It pays off, man. You get me? Like, that's what it's about, man. So, I appreciate the love. And yeah, man, this fixture, I can't lie. I don't think both teams have the energy, but somehow it's going to get like madness tomorrow. Like, when it kicks off 4:30 tomorrow, it's going to be mad. It's
Nah,
going to
it's
be
gonna be
mad.
a mad thing. It's gonna be but you know what, Saeed? Yeah, normally
Yeah.
I think form when it comes to this kind of game just goes out the window. We seen last season as well. I've
Mm.
titled it Repeat or Revenge, you get me? Added a little bit of the boxing touch
I
to it,
like
you know
that.
what I
Come
mean,
on.
dog?
Little
But look,
boxing vibe, yeah?
it goes out the window, though, innit? It actually goes out the
Yeah.
window because this fixture now, last season we were fucking flying high, and then you came to the Emirates and it was such a tight game. We had to win the game right at the death with Eddie and Ketia. But
That's
look,
true. That's true.
let's touch on your signings first of all, bro, because transfer deadline
Mm.
day, there was loads of outgoings for us. We didn't bring anyone in, but he's brought in Amrabat, Regulon. Talk to me, man. Are these guys going to come into the team and start on Sunday?
Nah. Obviously, regular might do. He trained. Amrabat, no. I think Amrabat's not even done his unveiling yet. He's not done his media duties. He's not, you know what I mean? He's obviously not registered before 12 p.m. yesterday, so he won't be starting anyway. But in terms of our signings, I still think it's been an underwhelming window. I don't know. Obviously, we'll get onto your one a bit, but I still think it's underwhelming. Like, I was just more relieved that we got Amrabat because I was like, you know what? We have to go and get a midfielder. We have to. That position there, I always think with midfielders, yeah, you can't be short in midfield. You can maybe be short in areas in attack. You can put a little winger there. You can, someone else can play a false nine. But when that midfield is lacking, yeah, then I think for me the whole team lacks. So I look at it. I think, yeah, we bought in Mason Mount first. I didn't really agree with that signing. Similar with you, man, with Havertz. Like I didn't agree with the Mason Mount signing. I think we spent too much. And you know what's mad? Yeah, we could have probably bought Gravenberg and Amrabat for the same money and
Mm.
probably been a better team. Then we got Onana in the door. That's a good signing. De Gea's replacement. We had to do that one. The manager knows him. Was quality in the Champions League final. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think ultimately we thought, right, we'll kick on there. Then we went for Hojlund. And then after that, when we went for Hojlund, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was 50-50 about Hojlund. I've watched him last season in Serie A, and I said to myself, this is too young, man. It's too raw. Like, we need a bona fide kind of starter right now. We need someone who's, ready right now. Obviously, Ivan Tony, Harry Kane, those were the names mentioned, but obviously Ivan Tony can't play. But then after
Mm.
that, it's been kind of flat. We've not really had anything since like early July. And we've kind of been waiting around, dilly-dallying around. Last minute injury to Shaw. That hasn't helped. We then have to go in for the left back. We got in Regulon. And then obviously we got Amrabat in. But if you look at the whole window, I still give it a 4 out of 10. I don't think it's been a crazy window. We haven't done any outgoings as well. The outgoings have been poor, if you actually deep it. Not got rid of Maguire. We've probably shortchanged in a lot of players that we've sold. Donny's still not left. We could have got a lot more money out of the fund, but it hasn't happened. You know what I mean? I could have done with the extra midfielder, could have done with the extra striker, but ultimately, man, it is what it is. You just have to go with it now. And I'm glad the transfer window's over now because now, no excuses. Let's play football and let's get cracking on because it's one of them where I'm like, you know what, man? The transfer window kind of makes fans feel like, yo, like everything's gonna be all right. Like, nah, man, listen, you got to still perform on the pitch, you know. So these players
Do you
that
know
are there
what? It's
still got to
mad though,
perform.
innit?
So
Because with the transfer window, it's either you're on a high because your club are doing the right things and bringing in players that you're excited about, or you start to get a bit more questionable of the team and the manager when things ain't going great. You get me? And they start bringing in shit, man. Like with us, our first signing was Havertz, bro. You know what I was like? It was on
that's
your show. You
yeah,
get me?
yeah,
Me and
yeah.
Saba going back and forth before there was any
Wow, that
link.
was
But
crazy.
bro, so far,
No,
you
that
get
was
me,
wild.
Saeed. So far, am I wrong?
Yeah, you know
So
what? That's
far,
what
am
I'm
I
saying.
wrong?
So far, you're right. You know what I
You
mean?
know
Let's
what
be
I mean?
honest. I remember them days, everyone was like, oh, no, he was obviously giving it the big and whatnot. But you know what it is, yeah? I feel like the transfer window just gives you a false sense of security in it.
Mm,
And ultimately, it's not good for the fan base, you know what I mean, in terms of how we feel about the team, like, because it's like you should be doing your business before the season starts. So this end of the window, I don't really like it. I'd
mm.
rather the transfer window close on the first game of the season because then the managers won't be like, oh, we might need this or we might need that. Okay, injuries are going to come into it, and fair enough. But that's why you got to bolster your squad, get adequate replacements in, get adequate squad depth in, and you're actually going to be doing well. So, yeah, man.
Full focus in it. You know what? I agree with that. Before the season starts, the window should be done. You get me? If you got to open it up a few weeks earlier, open it up a few weeks earlier. When man are out on holiday, open it up. You get me? Bring people in and see how it works out. But look, I'll be
Yeah,
honest. I don't think both teams have started off great. At the start of the season, Saeed, what did I
I
say
said
to you?
that
I
as
said
well.
it's going to be difficult
Yeah,
for Arsenal this season compared to last season. You know what I mean? I think now
facts.
the pressure that's on us, it's a different kind of pressure. When you haven't got pressure on you, yeah, and you're just winning games and you're proving everyone wrong and you're the
Mm,
underdog in most games, it's easier. But when there's pressure on you and you're expected to win, when it comes down to the last 10 minutes of the game, yeah,
facts.
and you're either conceding a goal or you're drawing and you need to score a goal, it starts to become uncomfortable. But my biggest problem at the moment with the Arsenal team, and I think it'll benefit you massively, is if Thomas Partey continues to play at right back, because now we've
That's
seen
what I'm hoping
Rashford
for,
getting
you know.
pushed out. Bro, I was on the stream
That's
with
our only
Nuruddin,
hope.
big up Nuruddin, and he was saying the
Yeah,
same
big up
thing. You
Northern.
get me, bro? He was saying the same thing. This is what man after, because you seen last game Rashford get pushed
Mm.
out to the left, and even though you went 2 goals down, you still showed the fight and the character to get back into it and win the game. You get me?
Yeah,
Which is credit to you.
100%. No, no, no.
You know
You
what I'm
know what? You got
saying?
to give credit to that. Even though it's not against Forest, and even though we should be winning the game, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? It's a good comeback. But at the same time, you do that against Arsenal, mate. There ain't no coming back. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So we've got to be on it on that part. But you know what? Going back to the party situation there, apparently someone put in the chat, party's out for 4 months. Is that true? Is that true? 3 months?
Let's see. I don't
Now
really
that
know.
is,
You know, I haven't seen anything on that. You get me? I'm backing that might be a bit of bogey. If that's true, people comment and let me know because I haven't seen anything to do with that. To be
no,
honest with you,
I'm
I've seen pictures
just
of him
looking right
training
now.
yesterday. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
shit.
Don't lie. Is
Party
that?
is out for free. But this is, I don't know who this is though. This guy, he works for Court Offside and Sports Bible. He says Party is out for 3 months with an injury, not hamstring. Having it confirmed now.
We're gonna have
What?
to wait and see in it. We're gonna have to wait and see. But
I
people,
don't know
make
if
sure you
it's
smash a
obviously, I don't
like
know
on
how
this
credible
video.
this
If you're
guy
in
is.
here now, you get me. Make sure you're hitting the like
Come on,
button. We want to try to push this preview out to as many people as possible. But if he is out,
come on.
that's not going to be good for the team. I think every Arsenal fan, yeah, is crying out for Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, and Declan Rice to
Yeah.
start in the middle of the pitch. Arteta's tinkering around with the team too much. He's trying to facilitate Havertz into this team, and it is
Mm.
just not working. We're looking a shadow of
No, no,
ourselves
no.
from last season, bro.
But that's on him, though, bro. That's on him. That's on Arteta. I don't think any fan has to worry about what they think or what we think of Arteta. Havertz. Everybody knows Havertz ain't that guy. So nobody's going to banter Arsenal fans about Havertz, innit? But the
Mm.
manager, bro, if he lives by that sword, he might die by that sword. You know what I mean? He might go and get the chop because if you man don't win a trophy and you man finish, I'm not saying outside the top four, but just kind of have an underwhelming season, bro, like that's on him. Because you don't
Yo,
have to play
bro,
Havertz.
I'm
You didn't
coming
have
for
to buy
man.
him.
I'm coming for man.
Bro,
Don't
I
get
know
it
your fan
twisted, you
base.
know, fam.
I
I'm
know your
telling you,
fan base. Your fan
I'm
base
coming for man.
it'll be lovely. I'll be there. I'll be
You know
there,
what?
mate. So
I'm giving it him till
yeah,
the
go
end
on.
of the season, though, Saeed. I'm giving him to the end of the season because he has built up some trust in me. You get me? Like I do trust him a little bit because of
Yeah.
what I seen last season. When he first come into the club and I wanted his head, there was nothing to go off. You get me? He was never a manager before. We don't know if he can deal with
Yeah.
recovering from 2 8th place finishes. You get me? We haven't seen it before. But last season he has given the fans belief. He has given the fans hope, and also he's shown us that he can compete with the very best with Man City. You get me? All the way till
Facts.
the end, we were there. Fell off a little bit at the end, I know, but I think maybe a few injuries, the squad not being strong enough, did have an impact. What's pissed me off the most is that all
Yeah.
this tinkering didn't happen in pre-season. We didn't see Free at the back in pre-season. We didn't see Thomas Partey at right back in
Yeah.
pre-season. You get me? If you're gonna start messing around with a team, mess around with it in pre-season. You get me? Before the start of the campaign kicks off, and then you start messing around with there and then because we've had three
Facts.
easy games for me. You get me? And we should have
Mm.
been putting them to the sword. If this was last season, yeah, we're burying them teams. Get me? As soon as even when Forest scored, bro, they looked like they got back into the game, bit of a shaky leg. Last game, 10 men against Fulham. Yeah, how are we letting these men get back into the game and get a point from the Emirates?
Facts.
Joke thing, Gabriel
Facts.
needs to come straight into this team. I don't know what this
What's
guy's
going
done.
on with him though? Let me ask you a question. Why is he not just like took it like Gabriel and team? There must be a reason. Has he not trained well? Have you heard anything
Nah,
that's different?
do you
Like,
know what I think it is? You know what I think it is, yeah. And obviously, don't hold me to this because I'm just
don't
speculating.
shoot the
I
messenger.
have a
Yeah.
yeah, don't shoot the messenger, but I have a feeling, yeah, his head got turned by Saudi. I have a feeling that the big money come
Oh,
in,
I
his
hear
head got
you.
turned by Saudi, and Arteta said to him, right, listen, pussy old, yeah. If you're thinking about leaving, yeah, and your head's getting turned, you're gonna have to sit on the bench for a little bit. You get me to show you, look, ain't not one player bigger than the club.
Wow.
That's the only
That's
explanation that I can
wild.
think of.
That's
You get
wild, man. You know what? That's but the thing is for me though, like, but then again, if the player you believe is an Arsenal player, why would you think that his head would be turned anyway? I don't understand that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
bro,
if he,
when man are doing this to you, fam, you get me, fam.
yeah,
It's a
but I
mad
don't think he's
thing.
gonna
It's a
change
problem.
someone's like the way he plays. Like, I don't think someone's gonna be like not concentrating. I think for me, he's gonna be thinking about playing for the football club. So I don't understand this idea that he's not gonna be focused in that regard. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It just comes down to again changing the system. It looks like for me, looks like it's premeditated party playing. Havertz, it's been a plan, and I think what he's done is, I think he's told Gabriel, listen, I've got a plan for Havertz. I want to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, I'll bring you in like fourth, fifth game of the season. But then again, by then you could be behind City by 7 points or 8 points, and it's like, yo, like why did you risk that? And this is it now. You know, if you don't get a win today and tomorrow and City win, how many points are they ahead of you already?
They're 2 points ahead of us now, innit? They're the only team with what 9 points so far. So
Yes,
if
it's
they
gonna be
win
five.
today, then there'll be five
No,
points. Yeah. If they
yeah,
win
it'll be
today,
5 points.
5 points. Yeah. But I don't know,
Something
man.
so.
It's
No,
gonna
but I'm
be a
saying though,
sticky
like you
one.
don't want to tinker it around and then City just create a lead because I just feel like City now they're just gonna rack up points for no reason, and I don't think they've been playing that well. If I'm being honest with you,
Uh,
they haven't
but
played very well.
this is City though, Saeed. City don't play well at the start of the season. They still grind it out. You get me? They got that mentality of bro. They were drawing 1-1, and what did they do? Go straight down the other
Yeah,
side and score. You get me? That just shows you what kind of mentality they have. And this is why I think the window. Yeah, Timber's got injured now, so I'm looking at it as a bit of a poor window because the best
yeah,
time you want anything to happen, well, an injury wise, you don't never want it to happen. But if the best time is during the window, in it, because then you can go out and recruit. In defense now, we're weaker than what we were last season. Rob Holding's gone out now as well. You
yeah.
get me? Kieran
This is
Tierney's
it.
gone out. We're in the same predicament. If a Tomiyasu gets injured or a Ben White gets injured or a Saliba gets injured, we're pretty much screwed, in
Mm.
it. Let's get this super chat in.
Yeah,
Big
big
up
up my guy.
yourself, United all the way. Anthony, Ajax Martinez, Ajax Onana, ex Ajax Ericsson, ex Ajax
Yeah,
Malasia, Dutch Wagos, Dutch Regulon, Dutch League Mount, Dutch
bro.
League Amrabat, Dutch League Casemiro, the only exception, bro. Look, to be fair, let's touch on your manager for a second because are you disappointed, bro?
Yo, bro, listen, disappointed in him as a manager or disappointed in this season so far?
No, what you've seen from him, like the progression from last season to this season, moving into the season, you've
You know
won a
what?
cup, Champions League
I'm
football,
not really.
looking
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
mad.
You know what is? You know what is? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It depends because I've been through the trenches at United, innit? Like, I didn't want Ollie as manager. I didn't want Ollie. You know what I mean? I wanted Ollie sacked. And for me, when we kind of moved over, I was just like, you know what? I just want it to be done. Like, I wanted to have a stable manager, and I wanted Ten Hag. Like, I didn't want Pochettino. I wanted Pochettino before Ten Hag was even announced. So this is how it kind of it's a bit weird. But I wanted Ten Hag when I knew we were linked with Ten Hag. I was like Ten Hag over Pochettino. And the thing is, for me, last season we had a good season. When you look at it, third, whether you think Chelsea and Liverpool were rubbish, we finished third and we got a trophy. That for me in a season isn't a bad season. I'm not saying it's the greatest season ever, but it's not a bad season. Then I said next season we need to progress,
Mm,
and I mean by that by playing a better style of football. I want to be closer to Arsenal and the City, and I also want to be closer in terms of just not a title race, but just in terms of like, you know what, like people take us a bit seriously now, and also our away
mm,
form. against the top six needs to be better. That's one thing I stress has to be better about Ten Hag, and it hasn't been. We've not got no wins
Mm,
against the top six Premzy. This is why,
mm.
for me, when people say show better chest, I couldn't even show chest against Tottenham because I was like, bro, I don't think we're gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're gonna win. So that's why I feel like with Arsenal, even our record as well over there is terrible, man. I don't know what is about that stadium since 2017, but bro, we're just getting smacked up, or we don't, you know what I mean? It's been a draw,
Get
or you
me?
know what I mean? It's been like underwhelming. Like
It's
same with you
been,
guys though. When you look at it,
it's
you've only
changed,
won
isn't it?
once. Yeah, it's changed from back in the day when we used to slap the up and that. When Wayne
Nah,
Rooney
nah,
used to come in
nah.
every week and
Allow
that and
it,
just
fam.
destroy you.
Allow it. Now,
But
Wayne
Wayne
Rooney was
Rooney
an
used to
exceptional
destroy you,
player, man.
man.
Now, Wayne Rooney,
Wayne
yeah, he's
Rooney
given me
was,
some nightmares, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he has given me some
bro.
nightmares.
I
But
remember
let me
when
just answer
Nani
this here.
played it
Rob
back.
Holding
Yeah.
makes us stronger with laughing faces. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Kivior hasn't shown me that he's a better player than Rob Holding. You get me? So, in my opinion, there's just a less body out of
Why?
the defense in it. Big man Tingyo Kivior, yeah. He hasn't shown me that he's levels above Rob
He's only
Holding.
a young player though, to be fair. What is he, 19 years old or something?
Nah, he's what? He's 22 or something like that. You get me? So
Is he?
it's a bit of a mad thing. You get me? I don't know, man. I think with the Timber
Okay.
injury, we should have went out there and brought somebody in. You know what I'm saying, bro? 100%, 100%. But how
Okay.
do you see this game going, Saeed? How do you see this game going?
Boy. Listen, man, I can't lie to you. I'm not really confident. I think for me, it all depends on what Arsenal do. I think if Arsenal play their best team, I think they smack us up. I can't lie to you. But if you lot play Partey right back, Havertz in the middle, and you know what? I'm not confident, but I think we've got a little bit of a baseline of confidence in terms of Rashford versus Partey. If Rashford can isolate Partey 1v1, boy, we've got somewhere. We're going somewhere. But
Mm,
if you man play your best team, obviously we don't know what's going on with Hojlund, if he's going to start or not. So it depends on what we're doing up front. But away from home, yeah, we are terrible, Premzy, against the top six. We might play well for the first half, but the second half, we'll come out and we'll be some next level team. And if you go 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes, oh my God, bro, you might need to then score another one straight away and then we're finished. That's just the way we are.
mm.
Mentally, right now, we're so fragile away from home. At home, we're cool. We're all right. You know, we can take on anyone. But away from home, Manchester United have got to sort it out. And obviously, it depends on our midfield balance as well. Ericsson, if he's got the legs in there, we might play McTominay, but again, he's rubbish on the ball. So we're waiting for Amrabat to come back. Had Amrabat been in here, I would have been, yo, let's have it. You know what I mean? But
Bro,
again, we
come
don't know
on,
who the
bro. You,
party.
you need to see what he's got to do, man. You get me? Now you speak. Now you sounding like an
Nah,
Arsenal
man.
fan, fam. You get me? As
Nah,
soon
but
as you
I know
sign a
with
player,
Amrabat,
it's
you ain't stopping that gladiator, man. And we got Casemiro in there as well, man. So listen, we got him and imagine that though, right now, like you're going from Ericsson and McTominay to Amrabat and Casemiro, the shield in that midfield. Bro,
bro.
it's
You
the
don't
better
know, man. You got to see what this guy can do. We've seen so many times
bro.
man
I
come
know
to
what
the
this
Premier
guy is.
League and get humbled. You
I
get
know
me?
what he is.
So would
I
you
know
have
what he is,
rather
man.
him than Declan Rice? Why are
Declan
you
Rice showed him up.
thinking, fam? Why are you
Can't
thinking,
lie
yo?
to you know what it is because I like Declan Rice, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna banter. I wanted Declan Rice 4 years ago when he played against United at Old Trafford. I was like, we need to sign him up. I watched Declan Rice first game against United, and he bossed him in field. So I know how good Declan Rice is. I rate Declan Rice, so it's a tough
Say
one.
no
I
more.
can't lie to you,
Say
but
no more, fam. We're gonna have to wait and see in it and see how the
I will
game
see
pans
who
out.
shows people up in it. We'll see who has a better
Yeah,
season. Declan
we're
Rice or
gonna have.
Amrabat.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be a. The thing is one of them where normally Arsenal United are a high scoring game. There's a lot of goals in the game, but
Very,
I have a feeling it's going to be a tighter game. I think both teams are going to be cautious, especially because of the start that they had. And if one of us
yeah,
lose now, it's going to have a detriment to the rest of the season. You get me? I know it's early, but like you said, if City win today, they go 5 points clear from us. If we get beat against you guys at home as well, that'd be two poor results at home for us.
yeah.
The mentality can start caving in. You get me? People, there's
Facts.
140 people in here. Make sure I want to see 100 likes at least on this video. You get me?
Come
Big
on,
game
let's
as
do it.
well. But with us
Come on, people.
on our side, yeah, I want to see partnerships getting built up again. You get me? I think Martinelli on the left
Mm.
hand side, he hasn't got that kind of partnership. Zinchenko and
He's
him
not
last
started well
season,
this season,
Granit
though,
Xhaka.
Martinelli.
But you
He's not
got to look
started
at it.
well.
No Shaka there, yeah, that he was had a good partnership with. No Zinchenko.
Wow.
No Zinchenko. You get me?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, just deep it. You get me? It's all brand new. Kiviar, bro. He's a centre back. He ain't giving you nothing going forward, innit? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? He
that's
ain't.
true.
There's Havertz in Shaka's position, bro. I don't even need to say anything, bro. You get me? But
Mm,
Havertz, he ain't helping nobody out. He every time he gets the ball, he's slowing it down. You know what I'm saying? He's not
yep.
giving a one-touch pass or he's feeding Martinelli in quickly. Martinelli's having to get the ball to feet and try to make something happen. You get me? And his best game is when he's running in behind, running at defenders. He's not getting that service.
Mm,
The centre back partnership, Saliba and Gabriel, say championships are won based on a tight defense. That was a brilliant
yep.
partnership last season. That needs to come back. We need to see that. Ben White and Saka. Saka's not even been too great this season. Yeah, he scored a banger in the opening
That's
day,
true. That's
but
true as well.
he's not being great. So we need
No,
to see these kind of partnerships. Gabriel Jesus. Now, let me ask you, looking from the outside in, yeah, tell me what you think of Eddie and Ketia because we're going to have a problem on our hands now. Jesus is back and Eddie's done well.
you know what? Eddie's done well. I think for me with Eddie, listen, don't get me wrong. I still think you need better than Eddie, but what Eddie does isn't bad. Like I think he's a very, very good backup striker in that regards. And I think for me, you know what he does when he does come in. The thing for me though about him though, he's not deadly striker. He's one of them. He's a volume striker. He'll do one of them where he won't expect he won't he'll score the goals that you don't expect him to score. But the ones that I think for me he should be scoring, I think he doesn't do well in. But
Mm,
overall, I think he's 24 now. He ain't no young striker anymore. When you
mm,
deep it, 24-year-old, he's now a big game player now. So I think for me, I think a lot of fans give him a lot of stick too much, if I'm being honest with you. Again, he's a youngster. He's just come through the ranks. You've got to give him time to kind of settle in. He looks like he feels like he's home. He don't want to go anywhere else. And Arteta likes his work rate. He likes the fact that he's always ready. He gives a lot to the team. He can play off the kind of midfielders as well. So I think he's a steady Eddie. No pun in words. You know what I mean in that. But ultimately, though, I still think Jesus offers more without
mm.
scoring probably more, but he offers more as a striker. But listen, Eddie Nketiah scored twice last season, so I'm watching him. I can't lie, man.
Do you know
I'm
what?
watching
Someone
him.
just put here in the comments, and Nketiah, I think, is more of a goal scorer than Jesus, but Jesus has better all-round game. And you know what? I think that's not really, you can't really argue with that. You can't
Yeah,
argue with that.
that's why
Jesus,
you need
he
a
allows
balance, though. That's why
100%.
Ivan told you need to go in for him in January. You need to go in for him because he's got goals and he links up play well. So he's got both, man. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what
So
it is
but
with
Ivan Tony's
Jesus,
gonna be a mad one.
he allows us to flow a lot better. You get me? He allows the likes of Martinelli to come central. He allows the likes of Saka to come central. And the interchange
Yes.
between them three is fantastic because Jesus can play as a right winger. He could play as a left winger. Where Eddie Nketiah, we've seen him play off the left, but we've never seen him as a right winger.
Yes.
It's hard for them to interchange. And the hold-up play that he's got is better than Nketiah's. I got to give him that. I think Eddie
Yep.
Nketiah, when he sees a chance, he does bury it. The odd few times he might cock up, but more often than not, he scores. You get me? So on
Goals.
that
Yeah, yeah,
front,
of
it's
course,
going
of
to be
course.
mad. But I want to see Trossard get fitted into this team as well against you guys. I think that's what we need, somebody that's nimble, that can unlock the defense, because I don't think your defense has been great. Obviously, you could tell me more on it, but it looks like
Moran's
Lissandro
out as
Martinez.
well.
Is it?
Yeah, Alessandro Martinez hasn't had a good start to the season. Listen, he had a great season last season, first debut season. I mean, everyone was raving about him, but obviously this season it's not been the same, man. He's not coped well. I think with the injury, he's just not been himself. And obviously Varane's been the better defender. And Varane, for me, I can't lie to you, he's a big blow, man. He's out for 4 weeks apparently, so he should be back after international break.
Is that Johnny Evans in
But
then?
bro, listen, Lindelof, mate, Lindelof. You know what I mean? It's
Yo,
one of them. He's a
I
steady
don't
Eddie
know
as
why
well.
you man are getting too crazy on Johnny Evans. Yo, Johnny Evans will come in and do a job. He's not the
Listen.
highlight signing, but he'll come in and
So
do a
play
job
Rob
since
Holding.
he's
Why
left.
did you sell Rob Holding then?
No,
He's a
no, no.
steady Eddie as well. He's the same as Johnny. If not, Johnny Evans is better than Rob Holding anyway,
Rob
man.
Holding
You know
has
what I
been
mean?
here
But
for too long. Rob Holding's been here for too long.
yeah,
It's time to move him on. But we do need to bring in bodies into the door. You know what I mean? If Thomas,
yeah.
I'm seeing in the comments so much stuff about Thomas Partey getting injured. Yeah,
You know
but I
what?
seen him
I
pictures of
don't
him
I don't
training
know.
yesterday.
That's what I'm
Can you
saying.
find
Unless it
anything
was a
on there?
training injury, unless it's a
Maybe,
training injury, people are saying
maybe.
it's out. But I don't know. I think for me, it's one of them. I wouldn't believe these rumors, to be honest with you. I really wouldn't.
So
I
let me
really
ask you,
wouldn't.
say, would you throw in Hojlund straight into a fixture like this with no Premier League experience, or would you bring him on off the bench?
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about that yesterday, but I wouldn't because you know why? It's our only striker, man, and obviously Martial's there, but Martial, you never know when he's gonna be fit. I don't want to rush him for then him to kind of be like, you know what? It's gonna be a bit sticky for him in that regard. So I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I wouldn't put him in there straight away. I would put him on the bench and then bring him on when we need to, because I just feel like for me back injuries, if you aggravate it and he gets injured early on, we're then screwed. Like let's settle him in. There's no rush. There's literally one game before international break. Funny enough, he's going to international break. I would have Ten Hag. I would have said to him, "You're not going. You're not going
Mm,
because I need you here." But I don't think he can. Because the agreement is that they need to qualify for the Euros, so he can't
mm,
really stay, can he? You know what I
no,
mean,
I do
bro?
hear that. But he's
So,
one of them. He can. Do you know what it is? There's going to be a lot of pressure on this guy as well. You know, B Tech Haaland and all of that's knocking around.
give over.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Big bucks he's coming for, scoring 9 goals. There's pressure on this lad. If he comes into a game like the Arsenal game
Yeah,
and he gets blown out of the water, bro, there's going to be questions asked about this guy. Obviously, it's still
yeah.
early and you got to see what he can do. He's a
Still
young
early on,
lad.
but the questions will be on Ten Hag as to why did you buy him as your only striker? Or you know what I mean? Like I wanted Vlahovic first, if I'm being honest with you. I thought
Mm,
Vlahovic, for me, a bit more experience, bit more of a goal threat. You know what I mean? More of a goal scorer kind of type of player. But in reality, it's one of them where I don't know, man. We got to trust the kid. We got to trust Ten Hag's judgment. And hopefully, like I said, we'll see what he's about. But I think for me, you know what, man, it could surprise everyone if he starts and he actually plays well and
yeah,
he scores. You never know. Sometimes debuts are made for
yeah.
these kind of moments. Like you know what, against a big game, throw him out.
Yeah. Do you know what, Saeed? Do you think there's a problem at United with money and funds because of the takeover? Because you're loaning quite a few players, in it. We've seen Waggers get loaned. I think Amrabat's coming as
Yeah,
a loan. Regulon's coming as a loan. Is that not
yeah,
frustrating you, big boy United? Yeah, having to loan players. You get me? Because back in the
bro.
day,
The,
you
the
man was
club's
blowing man
acting
out of the
broke.
water.
I know, man, but the club's acting broke in it. You know what I mean? They're trying to make these excuses up that they don't want to spend. They're putting out this FFP bullshit and all that, man, which I don't believe, to be honest with you. It's just that ultimately it comes down to the money in it. We're in debt.
Mm.
We are obviously negligent in terms of what we're doing in our sales as well. We're giving players high wages and it's hit us in the ass. There's so many things that I think, Manchester United have done wrong. And
Phil
it's just
Jones.
one of them where Jones as well. So many, man. And ultimately, you know what I mean? It's one of them where United have done what they have to do this season. They've still backed Ten Hag in terms of what he's wanted. You know what I mean? He wanted Mount, he wanted Onana, he wanted Hojlund. Certain players he's wanted, certain players he hasn't got. But bro, we have to do something now, innit? The excuses have to go. We have to do the situation on the football pitch. But ultimately, these loans, it might be even worse in January. So, I mean? I'm praying for some January situation going on. We need a midfielder in
Do
January.
you know what
Definitely.
as
And another
well? Yeah.
striker as well.
I think as well now we're both in the Champions League. We're gonna have to
Bro,
really see some character now because I think we both got decent groups. Not nothing like the Newcastle group. Fuck me sideways, bro. That was
boy,
a
that Newcastle group's
mad.
mad.
That was a mad
Mad.
one. You get me? But look, let's get predictions in. Yeah, because we are coming
Come
to
on.
the end of the show. What are you predicting?
I never predicted a loss for United. I don't know what it is, man. So I'll never ever do that for me. Even though my heart thinks we're gonna get spanked here. I'm gonna say it's 2-2.
2-2. So you're going
2-2.
for a Desmond.
Yeah. 2-2, man. 2-2.
You know what? I don't think it's going to be an easy game for us. I think I can see problems occurring in the game for us if we put out the formation and the team that I think Arteta's going to put out. You get me? If we revert back to type, I can see us winning the game 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1
Mm.
win. We're at home. We should be winning these kind of games at home. No disrespect to United, but this ain't the United of old. You get me? This is the new United where you've been a laughing stock over the last couple of seasons or so. You get me? You should
Mhm.
really be getting beat by Arsenal at home. Old Trafford is a different story, and it's simple as that. You are a force at home, even through your period of bad times. You've been a force at home, but at the Emirates, if we don't get this right, is going to be a sticky one for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. You get me? But I want to say, first of all, Saeed, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Come on, man.
It's been a
Anytime, man. Make sure you're liking the
pleasure.
video, people, man.
You get me?
Come on, people, man. Hit the like button, people, man. There's only
You get me?
200 in here, man. Come on,
But
man.
we're gonna have to have a conversation after the game and see how it works out in it. But all I can say, people, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Come on, you Gunners, let's fucking have
Come on,
it.
United.
Fuck
Come on.
United.